You're
Uh,
good. They are used to stuff like that. So,
all right. So I think that's all good now for YouTube. I can see we are live on YouTube as well. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this stream. We are here with my buddy Jeff, and we
hello.
are actually streaming on both our channels at the moment. So Jeff's channel, my channel, and we're also streaming on Jeff's Twitch channel. I hear a little bit of background. Okay, I think that's better.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I still hear the
So we're good.
background. I can hear myself in the background, Jeff. I don't know if coming
Okay.
from.
Let me make sure everything is muted on my side. Um, yeah, everything kind of looks good on my side. Do you have a tab going with
Oh,
the
it's
stream on,
probably,
perhaps?
yeah, it's here. All right, good to go. That was my bad. You see how bad of a streamer I am, actually. So that's
Yes.
why
No, you're good.
I decided. That's the real reason why I decided to collab with Jeff is because I'm an absolute disaster when it comes to streaming. And if you watch the course promo video, you see that what I mean by that. All right, I think we're good to go. Yes, welcome everyone. By all means, like introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We are always interested. I can see a few people here. Yosemite Sam, Sandra, Lady V is here. Welcome. We have 27 people watching already on our channel, so very happy about that. Today we are going to talk about this brand new course we are launching today and together on Udemy, Canva for live streaming. All right, so Jeff Evans is going to be our guest on Design with Canva, but as I said, we are also live on his channel and his Twitch. So hello to Jeff's community. Very nice to be here with you guys. My name is Ronnie Hermosa. I'm also a Canva verified expert. So today you have 2 out of the 50 or so Canva verified experts in the world. So that's kind of like a big
that's pretty
deal.
awesome.
Yeah. So I've had the pleasure to virtually meet Jeff a few years ago. That's not our first live together. We had a first interview, which was not completely live, but we had an interview that was published on our channel. Very cool interview where we got to learn everything about Jeff's story, backstory, and how he became kind of a graphic designer and evolved into streaming and kind of running his business around that. That was very cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, recently, about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I think you reached out and you said, hey, Ronnie, I'm working on this new course and I'd be interested in you taking a look and maybe see if we could somehow collaborate.
Yeah.
And I took a look. It took me a while to get the time to actually get in there and really discover all of the content. And when I did get into your content, I was like, wow, this is really good. This is a really good course. Teaching basically anyone like willing to start a stream, start live streaming on Twitch, mostly for gamers, but not only, how to create a complete visual identity, brand identity, and develop all of the assets that you actually need to make your stream look professional. So we are talking in your course about not just like your social media graphics, not just your like traditional Twitch banner and stuff like that, but way deeper than that. We go into emotes, we go into changing camera overlays that react to what's going on in the stream. And I was really impressed by all that. So what you flipped on screen there is the course table of content. It's about 5 hours of content. And yeah, maybe we can get into that. Like get straight to the chase.
Oh, you're good. I was just going to kind of showcase some of it while you're talking about what was going on. So,
so my first question really is like, can you introduce yourself to my community that might not know you already, because you have a very interesting backstory.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, so I got started with content creation. Oh man, every time I say this, it makes me feel more and more old because for the longest time I told this story and I was like, it was like 3 years ago. No, it's like 9 years ago now.
Uh-huh.
And I got started in content creation because I was actually a pastor, and I was a youth pastor at the time, and I was doing a lot of like mission work, and I had one of my students that actually went with me on a mission trip. We came back, and his family switched churches, and then I got in contact with him about 2 years later, and he had got on YouTube and kind of fell down a rabbit hole. And it actually ended up leading him away from the faith. It led him away from Jesus. And so it just sparked this idea in me. I'm like, if you can use YouTube to lead people away from God, why can't you use YouTube to lead people to God? And so that's actually how my content creation journey began. I have a second YouTube channel that's just my actual name. And on that one, I specifically do Christian related content, but that's how I got started in that. And so the funny thing is, like, my faith got me started in content creation, but my faith also got me started in graphic design, web design, all that stuff. I actually started out as a web designer or a web developer, actually. That was back before we had a lot of WYSIWYGs like WordPress and everything else. At that time, we actually had to write HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and that's what I was into. I loved coding, but I was on a team, a faith-based team, where we were developing free websites for faith-based programs like missionaries and things like that we would develop free websites to help them get their name out and things. The problem we had is we had a lot of developers and we had no designers at all. And so as a faith-based designer, I pirated my first version of Photoshop and started to learn design. And that was somewhere around 13 years ago, maybe 14 years ago now, that I started out. And from that time, I worked with that group. I've ran a freelance design business where I build websites with WordPress. I don't even remember how to write code, to be completely honest. I can get enough to get by, but so my story is, it's all kind of starts with faith, both ways around it. Then a couple years ago, I got started on Twitch, and again, kind of faith-based. I'm a nerd. I love video games. I love D&D. I love things like that. And so I was like, what if I can get online and start to reach a group of people that for the most part won't go to church because they don't feel like they're accepted in church. And I wanted to go and show that, that they're not. And so I got started on Twitch, and whenever I was on Twitch, I started to realize, oh man, streamers, most streamers are using the same generic overlays and the same generic looks. And like you can click on 15 streams and they all look exactly the same. And so then I started creating content under the Dr. Hills brand about how to use our favorite tool, Canva, to actually do everything you need on stream. In fact, at this point, I've created enough videos that I think pretty much anything that you think you would need Photoshop or After Effects or anything like that, I've been able to create in Canva with sometimes a lot of creativity and problem solving, and sometimes with very little. But yeah, so long way around. I'm also super ADHD, so if I switch topics a lot, that's why. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool, and that's actually a perfect transition to my second question. Why is branding so important for streamers today?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And so one of the things you have to realize when you get into streaming is still incredibly saturated. Now, it's nothing like COVID. During 2020, streaming was insane. Like there were so many people on Twitch, there were so many new streamers, but at this point it's still incredibly saturated. Go pick any game, pick Fortnite, Minecraft, Valorant, right? Go pick any game and you're going to see thousands of channels that are live. So we have got to make sure that as a streamer, when someone comes to our stream, they remember us. And one of the ways we do that is, I'm trying to say this nicely, not look like an amateur, right? Because a lot of times if we're using the same own.3D graphics that 3 other streamers are using, that takes away from our like you don't see a professional using the same graphics as some other professional.
Right.
And so whenever we create a brand, now I'm talking specifically about, our visual identity when I'm talking about brand, like right there. But once you develop a brand as a streamer, and so this can even go into like your streaming persona, if you want to have a persona that goes along with it, think, Dr. Disrespect and a few others, right? Or just the way you act, the type of games you play, the vibe and feel of your stream, like all that is going to make people want to come back or at least recognize you. Like when they're scrolling, they're looking for another Fortnite streamer. They're going to see your profile picture and your stream title, and they're like, "Oh, I remember that guy." Right? But if you have the same graphics as 14 other streamers, they're not going to go, "I remember that guy." They're just going to keep scrolling until they find someone they do remember. And so branding is super, super overlooked in streaming. A lot of streamers think that their gaming can do the talking.
Right.
But let's be completely honest, none of us are as good as like the top guys. So if we are going on skill-based gaming alone, we're never going to make it. So we have to find other ways to attract people to our stream.
Yeah. And I guess that branding part, getting people to remember you.
Yeah.
How much of an importance is it? Like you would say, is it 20%? Is it 50%? Like how much is your actual content versus the branding you put on the content?
Okay.
How much does it matter?
Okay, that's a great question. And so we can look on like Twitch and stuff and see there are streamers like XQC. If you go look at XQC, he streams on a potato. Like, I mean, he's one of those guys that has absolutely no branding. He's using a generic webcam. I don't even know what mic he's using, like, but he's huge. And that's because his content is insane. So you have that. I would say that is a outlier. That's not the norm. Most of the guys that you see make it do have some form of pretty professional branding. It's hard for me to put it in a percentage. I would say it's still nowhere near as important as the content. Ultimately, you can have amazing branding, the greatest you could have paid $15,000 for your graphics, and if you have a boring stream, it's still a boring stream. No one's coming back. And so that came out more harsh than I intended it to. But like content is still incredibly important in streaming. But as far as being like the entertaining, memorable guy, branding goes a long way to making you more memorable. And so I would put it in the 30, 35% range.
Okay.
As content still being the most important part.
It is like a consequent percentage, I would say, into the success of your stream.
Right.
So you've been in that game for a long time. What do you see, I would say, beginner streamer do as a mistake, like again and again? Like what is the typical newbie streamer mistake people make?
Yeah. Okay. So that is let me think. Okay. So the typical newbie mistake is just going live and expecting people to show up. So my chat's right now talking about the new Ludwig video that's out. So Ludwig is a huge, massive streamer, and he did a test. He started a completely brand new channel, went live, didn't tell anyone, and for like 3 hours he streamed to no one. And so like that's just, and humbling. I mean Ludwig. Yeah, it's humbling. And he talked about how like boring it was and how hard it was. And so one of the things, like a lot of streamers, they were like, if I just get the webcam and I get the microphone and I get the lights and I hit go live, people are going to show up. No, they're not. It's super saturated. And so like this even goes kind of outside of this course. This kind of goes into a course that I'm planning in the future. And that is you need content outside of your stream as well. And so like, YouTube or TikTok, Instagram, you need a following that then you can get, because streams are ranked based on viewership. So if you have 100 viewers, you're going to be, toward the top, depending on your category. Some categories, the top streamer will have 16,000 viewers, right? But if you have 0 viewers, you're at the bottom. So people got to scroll a long time to find you. So one of the biggest new mistakes in just streaming in general is just going live without any like plan of how to get people to your stream to start with. Now, I would say that the mistake that I see most commonly in from a design perspective, from a branding perspective, is that new streamers especially, think that you all have to look the same. Right, that they think that there's a certain gaming vibe, there's a gaming style, that you all need pixelated graphics, or you need some sort of fantasy retro mascot logo, and that you need gradient. Right. Yes, exactly. And so like it's this idea that you have to fit this particular style, but in reality that style is just as saturated as Twitch is. And so if you look like everyone else, you don't stand out enough. So I definitely see that. Like even when I've done a lot of freelance design in the streaming world, and whenever I start talking to clients and stuff, I get this a lot. Oh, I want my stream to look like this person's stream or that person's stream or that person's stream. And I'm like, well, that stream's already there. Well, let's
Yeah.
work on your stream, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that's something is a lot of people try to copy other styles and things, which I don't, I think that is a mistake, especially when you go into a super like overly saturated style.
Yeah, I see so many parallels between streaming and just simply YouTube.
Yeah.
What you said about not like you said two things, like two beginner mistakes. Like one has to do mostly with strategy and how you bring people to your stream, not thinking just because you go live, people are automatically watching you. There is this kind of like given audience watching you. You need to work to get people to actually land on your stream. So that would be kind of like the strategic part. And then on the design side, a lot of people are kind of falling into the cliche of the gaming stream or like the typical gaming stream visuals. And that's exactly what Canva is full of as well. Like when you search for gaming, well, not for gaming, for streaming templates
Streaming,
in
yeah.
Canva, you get a lot of that aesthetic.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that neon, purple gradient, futuristic, retro, pixel, whatever. You get a lot of that,
Oh
and
yeah.
I love that you went a completely different way in the course.
Yeah.
You didn't tap into that at all. Like I tapped into that a bit for our Udemy thumbnail.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope you
No, no,
don't
no. No,
mind.
but it draws people because that's what they're expecting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I went this way with that
Right.
thumbnail. But you didn't go that way down that road in the course, and I really appreciate that. And thanks for bringing up the thumbnail here. Yeah, and I showed this thumbnail to my brother, who's a graphic designer. He told me, "Ooh, that's very retro, Ronnie. Like, what is
Right,
this?"
yeah.
It's funny because I was working on the thumbnail, and my brother didn't know what I was working on. Like, he didn't know what the course was all about, and I didn't tell him. I showed him the thumbnail, and I asked him, "What is this? Like, what do you think this is for?" And he told me something about retro video game. So he kind of nailed all the keywords I
Right.
was hoping he would mention. And
Right.
then I showed that same thumbnail to my nephew, who's like 9 years old, and I asked him, "What is this?" And he told me, "Wow, that's kind of like he doesn't know these icons. He doesn't know Twitch. Doesn't know. He knows YouTube, I guess, but Discord,
Right.
X, he doesn't know any of that. Doesn't know Canva." And he kept like nailing the right keywords. Like it sounds like you're teaching. It seems like you are with someone else, and he has a headphone. So, and yeah, it was actually nice to
Yeah.
see. And that was kind of my fireproof that it's working. So I decided, okay, let's go down this way.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
see some people in the chat asking about the closed caption on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure if I can still turn them on at this stage.
Let's see.
So yeah, Lina, I've been trying to turn them on, but I don't see where I can do it. So I'm sorry if they're deactivated at the moment.
Right.
Diana, if you're still watching us, maybe you can find a way to activate them if you have access to the stream. But I don't want to mess everything up and do something
Yeah.
stupid here. So yeah. All right, guys. So
Yep.
we have this course. What kind of like decided you to embark on this course? Like, is this your first course that you create?
Yeah, so this is my first course entirely, and it's been a course I've had the idea for honestly a couple years, and it was one of those situations where I kept telling myself, I'll do it later. I kept saying, I'll do it later, and finally at the start of this year, I just was like, all right, I'm ready to actually get this thing nailed down, and really it's accumulation of, I've recorded a lot of YouTube videos, but if you were to ever like try to design your stream from start to finish, you'd have to fish through, over 100 different videos to find exactly what you need. And so the goal here was that it would be a step by step approach at it, where it's like, okay, you start at module 1, and by the time you make it down to module 10, you have your stream in OBS and you're ready to hit go live. and that was the goal, is just to make it completely streamlined. But yeah, this was my first take at a course entirely. I watched some YouTube videos, and I'd really came to get your input because I know how well you've been doing with courses on Udemy, and I've seen what you've been posting about it. So I was great. I was very happy to have your feedback and that you said it was all good.
Yeah, it was good. Like I was genuinely impressed by, and I told you that already, by
Yeah.
your capacity to just hit, like record and just go. Like I don't shoot like this. I cannot shoot like this. I have not,
Yeah.
do not have this ability. Unfortunately, I wish I had, because this is incredible. Like, and I clearly see, like, this is the live streamer in you. Like you know how
Yeah.
to fall back on your feet when you make a mistake. You know how to not waffle like I would. And I thoroughly enjoyed your teaching style. I think it's very
Thank you.
natural. You are taking people from point A to point B, no BS, and it's fun. It's fun because you are keeping it simple, but it's also like kind of a one take kind of course.
Yeah.
Like for me, it takes me months to create courses,
Yeah.
and you went super fast. So I thoroughly enjoyed like being exposed to a completely different way of teaching. Like when I was watching this course. So the story behind the course. Okay, so you created the course. That's your course, not my
Yeah.
course. Me, I'm just kind of hosting your course. We are collaborating, and I'm kind of like bringing your course to my Udemy audience, because I have a relatively large audience there. Around 200,000 students are enrolled in one of my courses. This is the 12th course I published on Udemy. So
Wow.
I thought it would be great for my audience to get to know this content, because it's different from what I've published so far. We are both Canva experts. We know Canva inside out. So why not? And so that's how we went about it. But when you put it in between my hands, it was 11 videos. And out of that, we made, I believe, 70 videos. So my role was to
Yeah.
watch everything, chop it down, like create a little intro here and there to
Yeah.
kind of make the transitions a bit smoother between the little bits that I asked my team to cut. I didn't cut anything of the course, but to cut like, okay, this is lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you already had the module. So what you call module has now become on Udemy a section.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, if we bring up the table of content here, we
Yeah.
see there's 11 sections, and you really take us in a journey right here. Like you start at the very beginning, section 1, the design basics. Okay, so this is where the course hasn't yet started. It's really about, okay, these are 5 design fundamentals you need to know about before getting anything done. Basically, you need to know about these. And we're talking about hierarchy, we are talking about white space, we are talking about consistency, and these very important design fundamentals. That's a relatively short section. You see 35 minutes. But it's an important one for anyone who has very limited design abilities, I would say. So this is a quick brushing off like fundamentals to get up to speed with these fundamentals. And then in section 2, we start like you start talking about why it's important to build that strong visual identity for your streams, what people will pay attention to. And then from section 2 all the way to section 10, you take students by the hand and help them develop every single piece of visual they will need to make their stream more consistent, more professional, and you develop I don't know if it's a fictional brand, Nova Plays, or if it's a brand you actually use in some of your projects, but you develop this entire brand, gaming brand, in a very consistent way. So that's pretty much what you lay down on section 2. Like, we are going to do all of this big project, and then we start doing it. We design a logo in section 3, develop from the logo a complete brand board or brand guidelines. Section 4, where we have more than just the logo. We have the fonts, we have the hierarchy, we have the imagery style, we have like the colors that your brand is gonna have and carry during the rest of the course. Section 5 is about getting more and more specific, like we create stream panels. Then 6, your social media. So you also talk about a bit of about strategy and how important it is to, if people find you in the stream and then just hop onto your X account, they need to see something they recognize. That's
Right.
what you were saying at the beginning. It's all about being recognized and consistent. So you also need that Twitter banner. You also need that YouTube banner that looks, Twitch banner that look kind of like and feels like your brand. So that's that section about the social media platform. Then you have your overlays. You have your branded transitions. I really like this one. This one looks super sleek. So creating this branded transition when you flip between the scenes in your stream. So for people who have streamed before, you know that in OBS, you can pretty much set up different scenes. Like you have your main camera, maybe you have your screen recording, maybe you have like your small camera when you're playing something. But when you switch between these scenes, you can create these very like cool transitions with the logo appearing and just like for a second and then transitioning to the next screen. Yeah, some stuff like that, like very cool.
Just like that.
Branded material. Really love that section of the course. And yeah, 9 is the emotes and badges. Also like this one, I loved how you showed how you used generative AI, like ChatGPT, but I guess you can do this in Leonardo or even in Canva to generate custom emotes for your stream. And you made some emotes of yourself in different kind of like reaction emotions. I really like that. I think that was super cute. And then yeah, the last one, section 10, your alerts that are interactive and react to what's going on. And I learned a bunch about connecting these visuals to a platform, Stream Elements, I think it's called.
Yeah, Stream Elements.
Stream Elements, which is a platform that allows you to be kind of the interface between your Canva design visuals and your actual stream. So when something is going on in your stream, you can show a visual, but that visual, if it's just a slide that you insert into OBS, it will not be interactive. It will not show, for example, the name of that new follower you just have on your channel. But with Stream Elements, you kind of connect your visual to this data from your stream. And I didn't know we could do that. So that was super interesting as well. Yeah. This whole thing is free, like the connection between your visuals, Stream Elements, OBS. That's one other thing I kind of like about streaming is that you have all of these great platforms that are pretty much free and you can do so much with them. And yeah, so congratulations on that course.
Thank you. Yeah,
it was super well executed. About 5 hours of content. What was your favorite part of this, like creating this course? Is it like just seeing the progress?
Oh, yeah. So so like I sat down and before I ever started recording, I made like a step by step, exactly what I wanted each module to be, and worked my way through it. And then I'm kind of a natural problem. Like I'm not gonna say I'm natural problem solving, but I enjoy problem solving, and so like the first time I created a transition, because transitions are tricky. Those prior to, I mean, I can't think of many other tutorials on YouTube. I'm sure they're out there. I haven't searched that in depth. But prior to like me starting doing it on like in Canva, like you used to have like After Effects or got really good with nodes in like DaVinci Resolve, which I did at one point. That was very difficult. But like transitions just in general were a like fun problem to solve. And so I always enjoy when I have this cool idea, like this would be really cool on stream, and then I have to figure out how to do it, and then I get to teach how to do it. Always enjoy that. And then there was actually an update that I found while recording the course that made the transitions a whole lot easier. that in Canva you can now export transparent GIFs. That's something I've been
Oh
asking
yeah.
for years, and didn't realize they rolled it out until I was recording for the course. And so that was nice. But yeah, I enjoyed just planning it out and then like kind of seeing it come to fruition.
Yep. And I remember that part where you say, "Oh, I can actually export my videos as a GIF, and this will make a lot of streamers happy."
Oh, it made it
Uh,
so much easier.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing with
'Cause-
Canva. They never stop like shipping new stuff. Uh,
Yes.
Makes the life of Canva instructors like me a living hell.
Right. I
But
get that. Yeah.
like I spend so much time updating my main Canva course, the Canva Master course. It's about 30 hours of content,
Oh
and
yeah.
we're still in it. Like we're still updating it. We usually update it every year, year and a half. But when you have to go through that update, you're talking about 4 to 6 months of work, and yeah, and you need to work fast because I mean, I'm a slow course producer. Like I don't have your ability to just do it so fast, and it
Right.
takes
Okay.
very long. So sometimes I'm in the middle of an update and then they just ship the next batch of update, and I'm like, no,
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
slow down. Yeah. But yeah,
Right.
that's also what makes it such a cool platform to use. Like there's always something new. Today I was working on
Right.
a new what's new for the month of September, a batch of new features. As Canva expert, we get access to these
Yeah.
decks that Canva creates, and they teach us about the new features so we can teach them to our communities. And yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff. Um, Actually working on the Canva code thing at the moment, where
Yeah.
you can code interactive applications or little games or little experiences with Canva. That's actually very cool.
Yep.
I've coded a little app to learn about the Canva keyboard shortcuts today. Like, so it's a game where you need to,
Oh.
like, it teaches you like to remember the keyboard shortcuts when using
Yeah.
Canva.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so shortly after Canva Code released, I did a video on creating basically a game, like a choose your own adventure style game that you could use on your stream. And so that streamers could actually set it up so their viewers can go and kind of play along with them and stuff to it. So I definitely need to get on and play around with that a bit more. The Canva Code was really cool.
Yeah, it was. It was a big
Yeah.
thing also when they announced that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at the chat right here. Some new people are joining. Some people are asking, what is this about? So for those of you just joining, we are discussing with Jeff because today we are launching a new course on Udemy. It's called Canva for Live Streaming. It's a 5-hour course. We have a special coupon. This QR code that you're seeing here is to get the course for, I believe, $9.99. So $9.99, not $999. $9.99. So it's very cheap, but it doesn't mean it's not a good course. Like, it's just the Udemy prices. And we have this launch coupon code, $9.99, that, or the equivalent in your country, but $9.99. It should not be more expensive than $9.99. Just so you just scan the code, you can get access to the course on Udemy. It's about 5 hours of content. And yeah, we hope you will be enjoying this course. I know Jeff put a lot of effort into it. How long did it take you to produce this whole thing?
Oh, that's a good question. So I did it over the
Don't tell me
course
a week
of,
because I'm gonna hate you.
yeah, no. So I did it over the course of several days. Like I would sit down and so I will say the way that I do my content, it is probably a bit quicker. Usually what I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll create something once, and then I'll essentially hit record and create it again, like I'm just teaching it live to someone. And so that's, I spent a lot of time, here and there figuring out what I was going to make. And then I just kind of hit record and taught it as I went. And so I would say the total recording time, well, I would say the total recording time was less than a week, but it was split up over the course of probably about 3 weeks.
Wow.
Where I would like plan out what I was going to do, and then I would sit down and hit record, and then I'd plan out what I was going to do, and then I would just sit down and hit record. And for me, that way of teaching has always been easier because I am terrible. That's one thing I realized. So I wrote a book a couple months ago, and it finally released a couple months ago. And I was going to narrate the audiobook myself, and I tried to read like the first page, and I'm just so bad at saying what I'm supposed to say. I'm just better
Okay.
at just talking,
Yeah.
And so if I ever sit down and try to like manuscript out what I'm going to say, like there's some people that are so good at that, and I'm a little bit jealous because when people give me ad reads and stuff, it takes me like an hour to record it because I'm so bad at saying what I'm supposed to say. But I do better when I can just sit down and just kind of talk like I'm talking to another
Yeah,
person.
and we totally feel that when we listen to you, like delivering this course. The flow is so natural. I promise you guys, you won't get bored with this course. It's a very natural flow, and yeah, and it's the way we cut it as well. Like it's very short lectures, not like my courses. My courses are like it's not atypical to have like a 30-minute lecture. Here, I think the longest one is about 10 minutes, but it's a lot of like 2-3 minute lectures. So it's very quick, like quick bites, and you learn everything new in every single one. So, and the way you divided the modules makes a ton of sense, and kind of builds like each module builds on the previous one, and you have that little intro at the beginning, kind of letting people know where we are going with this new section, and then you have that recap at the end. So yeah, it's very pedagogic in that sense. All right. Do we have any questions from the audience? Like I see a bit of movement in the chat, but not many questions. So guys, if you want to know anything about this course, about Jeff's content, our content, take advantage of being here with us. We'd love to hear from you as well. So don't hesitate to drop your question in the chat. We'll keep monitoring and bring the question up directly here. But I do have a few more questions for you.
Yeah. So before you do, real quick, I was going to say, so Ian over on Twitch asked just specifically kind of a design question. So one of the things I like to do over on Twitch too is I actually just like to sit down, and so some of that prepping that I was telling you about, where I designed something, I'm like, all right, I'll record a video on how I did that. I do a lot of that live, which is great because my chat's a lot more creative than I am. And so they'll come over and they'll like ask me like, hey, could you do this with Canva? And I'm like, let's find out. And so he was just asking me, he's like, I suck at finding the right colors. And so color theory is tricky, and a lot of people kind of struggle with it. And so in the course, I think in the module 1 where I go through design basics and stuff, I talk about actual doing and choosing colors, what goes with your brand, actual color psychology and things like that. I'll give you a cheat code though. There's a website that I use a lot called Colors. I think it's COOLORS. And it's a great website. You go and pick your first color. You can like lock it in and just keep it in the space bar, and it'll randomize a color palette that fits that color perfectly. I show how to do it in the course, but it's a great tool if anyone is struggling with colors.
Yeah, Coolers. I'll pop that in the chat. It's 2 O's, so COOLERS.co. Coolers or colors.com.
Yep.
.co. Sorry, .co.
Yeah, .co.
Yeah, actually not working. Maybe it's 3 O's. My bad. No. Cooler.
I got it here. COOLORS.co.
COOLO. Cool. With the O.co. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. It's a very weirdly spelled website, but it's really good.
See the proof of that, like no one can type that in. But yeah, I used to use that website a lot as well. It reminds me of my early days. Yes, there you go. I love this website. And I love that you can generate the palette, lock the color, swap them around, continue developing your colors. Yeah, it's a great one. I always, on top of Coolers, I use also canva.com/colors a lot. This one has color palettes, it has color theory, it has the meaning of colors. Yeah, so canva.com/colors, also a great resource.
Terrible verified expert. Did not know that existed.
No, you didn't know that?
Okay. No, all right, I'm learning things now. Okay.
Okay, so I'll pop this one in the chat as well, canva.com/colors.
Yeah, that's great.
Canva.com/colors, yeah. All right. So let me see. Prince Edward say the price is good at $9.99 for a 5-hour course. Yes, thank
Okay.
you. It
Yeah.
actually is. That's the thing with Udemy. Like when we launch courses, usually I like to offer the audience the best possible price. So there are different kinds of coupons we can create on Udemy. The best one really is the lowest price on the platform at that specific time for everyone. So basically, Udemy guarantees that if you create a coupon with the lowest price on the platform, your audience will get the best price. But the downside of this is that this coupon is only valid for 5 days. So that's the one we used here because it
Right.
guarantees the lowest price, but the validity is only 5 days. So yeah, don't sit on it if you're like kind of thinking about the course. It's better to do it before the 5 days expire, because then after that, even if you scan the same QR code, it will flip back to whatever the price is at that time, which will probably be higher. But yeah, I hope that we'll get also some interesting feedback about the course. I'm always monitoring that when we launch a course, because yeah, it's important for us to adapt. I've heard you mentioning that yeah, this is the course as of today, but you might add some more modules in the future if things start to move, or if new functionalities pop up in Canva. How do you
Right. Yeah.
how do you find Canva for all of that design work? Like we mentioned a bit, like that. Obviously, we are a Canva expert, but is there other tools that to you kind of like reach to the level of Canva in your daily usage for creating all of these visuals?
Yeah. So I come from a background of Adobe products. As a freelance designer, I've used Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop. I edit in Premiere. And so like I've used a lot of Adobe, and I think Adobe products are phenomenal. Like, I mean, I've used them for years, and so they're just kind of second nature to me. However, there is a huge learning curve in Adobe products. And so that's what I've learned is even whenever in the early days before I thought about trying to teach Canva to streamers, at that time I was trying to teach basic design, and I'd found some like free Photoshop alternatives, and they're just all so like what I've found is like for a non-designer, and most times streamers are non-designers. They just want to play games and hang out with chat, or create content and hang out with chat. They don't want to be a graphic designer. They just want stuff that looks good. And so trying to teach something as like convoluted as Photoshop, or what is Photopea is a free alternative, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's so much to it, whereas like Canva does everything you need. Like, I mean, everything from the graphics to even having templates that are amazing, to having animation and video and things like that. And it's so much simpler to use. And I mean, from in my perspective, and honestly, on a daily basis, I use Canva more than I use anything else. Now, when I have branding projects and stuff, I need it in Vector, so I create it in Illustrator. But for me, is the simplest tool for streamers, and I've tried many of the other tools as well. And there's some other good online design programs out there that are solid, but I still find that Canva has the most of what you need. Where it's like, all I need is Canva. I don't need Canva plus a animation program, or Canva plus a photo editing program. Like, you can literally, I mean, to the extent that we're doing it in streaming and content creation, you can do it all in Canva.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, I
And
remember
that's what I like about it.
the section about creating that animated transition.
Yeah.
It's true. You only used Canva to create this whole thing, and you plugged it in directly into OBS. And that's also another thing I like about the course, is that the last section is actually you show people how to put it all together in your streaming platform, which is OBS Studio, which is, I believe, the platform of choice for most streamers. Because that's something that is not as straightforward as one might imagine. Like me, I learned a bunch about how to, especially these animated transitions. I didn't know we could do what you did in, like what you showed, to create that specific I don't remember exactly what it was that you created, but me, when I created a transition, it was not like that. Like it didn't
Yeah.
like automatically like fell in the right place. I don't know I don't remember exactly the
Right.
name of
Yeah.
that
Okay.
feature, but it's right there in the course in the last section, and you made that super cool in animation that you animated in Canva. You made it come to life in OBS, and just with the press of a button, like it activated the transition. Or I think it didn't even need to activate anything. Just by switching scenes, the animation would trigger. That's what
Yeah.
impressed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. We have a few questions in my chat right here.
Okay.
One from Durham Skywriter. Okay, I am live streaming with EV Will you have overlays, etc., that can be used with that platform?
Yeah, so I'm not incredibly familiar with EVMux. I'm assuming it is in the same category of StreamYard and Restream and things like that. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. If it is, they accept PNG files, which is what we create in this. Is we create transparent PNG files. If there's an option for a transition, I'm sure it'll accept a GIF file or an MP4 file, and all of those we show how to export in the course and how to use. So yeah, that should, and now correct me if I'm wrong, but it should use PNG files and GIF files and things like that. So it should work without a problem.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. I see some people struggling with the QR code. Some
Okay.
aren't. So I just popped the link right there in
Perfect,
the
yeah.
chat as well. So you can do that also in the description of the live stream here on YouTube on my channel. You should see a link. Yeah, and that link should be the one leading you to the course coupon. I will double check right after the live that this actually was the right link, but I believe it was. Otherwise, just use the one I just popped in there. But I think the QR code is working. I double, triple checked. It should be working. So anyways, it's still valid for 5 days. So if it's not working right now, come back to the description of this live right after we finish the live. I will double check now that the coupon is live, because I programmed the coupon to be live at the same time as we go live here on YouTube and Twitch. So we get the most out of these 5 days. So yeah, we will take care of that. Thank you. I do think EVMux accepts PNG. I will have to check before signing up. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, OBS Studio is also a great platform. I think that's kind of the standard. So I would also recommend you check this one out. It's also
and OBS
free.
is completely free. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely free, and it's pretty robust.
Yeah.
Lots of tutorials on YouTube. So yeah, it's easy to get started. Let me check if there are other questions in the chat. Don't see any. So guys, if you have more questions, we are getting to the 50-minute mark. Our plan was to go live for about an hour, so we still have a bit of time. If you have more questions about the course, about Canva, about anything really you have for Jeff or myself, we are here for you. Talking about this new course, Canva for live streaming. Yeah. Do you have anything on your side, Jeff? Like any questions from Twitch or your audience on YouTube?
Let's see. Not necessarily. I have Tio who's over here just asking about the course itself.
Yep.
So Tio, this is the course we're launching. It is utilizing Canva to build out all of your stream branding, your visual identity and such. And it is hosted on Udemy. I actually just posted it in the chat. There's also a QR code, but there we go. It's in the chat as well, if you want to check it out there.
Yep. Any plans on, like, now that you are a teacher, like an official Udemy teacher, do you have any other courses you have in mind? You mentioned one, I think, earlier in the stream. More like a.
Yeah, I remember mentioning it. Now I can't remember what it was though. I will say another one that I'm thinking about, and this is another one that I've had planned about as long as this one, is Canva for churches. And so I'm a pastor at a church, and our church almost exclusively uses Canva for our designs and stuff. And I just want to do that and show how to set it up for a team, because if you have a team, you can have like shared team templates and a brand and all that. That's very easy to access, and it's really easy to onboard new people into using. So Canva for Churches is one that it'll probably be my next or close to my next one. I've thought about releasing a course on, how to write and self-publish a book, but that seems to be a fairly saturated market as well. Man, what was it? I can't remember what I said earlier.
I think you
Sounded like such a good
mentioned
idea.
creating content to lead traffic to your streams.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, and so yes, that was the other course is like how to start your live stream as far as how to get your first 10 viewers, because that is usually the biggest hurdle people
Right.
have, is getting those first few viewers. On Twitch, to be an affiliate, you have to average 3 viewers, and most, I guess I can't say that, I don't know the stats exactly, but a lot of streamers quit before they ever get affiliate, before they ever
Really?
average 3 viewers a stream. So yeah, so just I would like to create a course on how to actually achieve that. And really it starts with creating content on another platform, a more discoverable platform. Twitch, unfortunately, is not a very discoverable platform. They are trying to fix it. I've seen it in the last year or so. They've started to try to remedy that with their own like shorts or stories or whatever they're calling them. But at this point, it's still not an incredibly discoverable platform. So it really helps to build some sort of starter audience on YouTube or TikTok, Instagram, something like that you can then funnel to your stream to get those first few viewers, and then you can kind of grow and capitalize on that. So yes, I think that may be the next course directly related to this that I would be working on is how to grow using other forms of content.
Yep, and you do that quite well actually with your Dr. Heal's channel. I want to pop that in the chat as well for my audience. Let me quickly go get it. So Dr. Heal's. Okay, I thought it was my channel because you also updated your banner, but
Oh, I did. Yeah.
but like, what is this?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the chat. I'm gonna pop Jeff's channel called Dr. Heals, where he has about 140 tutorials on mostly live streaming with and how to design that brand for your streams with Canva. So you really made a name for yourself as the Canva for streaming guy. And I like how you niche down on that specific sub niche, because you're in the Canva niche, but in your sub niche of streamers, Canva for streamers. And so I'm glad that you reached out to me to collab for this course, because this is something I know very little about. I mean, a lot of what you teach in the course is branding stuff, Canva for branding, but applied to streaming. And that's something that really resonated with me, because it's complementary to what I usually teach. All right, so check out Jeff's channel, give him a subscribe, because if you're into streaming, if you watch this live up to now, you're probably a little bit at least into streaming. So subscribe to Jeff's channel, because you'll find a gold mine of tutorials there to just like boost the quality of your streams. Cool. Maybe let's wrap up with this. Like, how do people actually earn an income with streaming?
Yeah. Okay. So there is, ad revenue on Twitch. Like there's anything else. I will say, I think most streamers would say the same thing. Twitch, you're not going to make much on ad revenue. And really ads kind of have this like negative connotation on Twitch anyway. So inserting mid-roll ads and things like that during your stream, I think Twitch, it might be pushing it a little bit more now, but it definitely was something that most viewers and streamers were not a fan of when they rolled it out. So one of the most common ways you're going to make money is through like subscriptions. And so this is something that I found really interesting when I started streaming on Twitch, as opposed to YouTube. YouTube is very much a free platform. And now there are like memberships and things on YouTube now, and I believe it's becoming a little bit more common. But when I started on Twitch, like it was kind of unheard of to really give a YouTuber money. Whereas on Twitch, this is a very common form of like showing your appreciation to a stream. You subscribe, and when you subscribe, you get a custom badge, you get access to the custom emotes for that channel. And then if you really want to show your appreciation, you can gift subscriptions. And so that basically means I'm going to pay for 5 other people to be subscribed to this channel. And it's $5 to subscribe to a channel. The streamer gets about half of it. And so then once you get $50 in your account, out, you'll get that paid out every month, basically whatever you earn. So the most common way is through subscriptions. People can also go and give tips. So if you have a Stream Elements, like we talked about earlier, actually has like a giving platform so people can give directly to you. Then there are like bits that's on Twitch where people can buy bits and then basically, give them to your channel when you do cool stuff. So that's a really common way. I would actually go a bit outside of that and also say that I personally like to get, affiliate type stuff. If there's a program you use a lot, or say a mouse brand that you use a lot, or your keyboard brand because you're a gamer and like that stuff's big, try to reach out to those companies. And I actually have a video, I think, or I'm making a video. It's one of the two. Where it's actually creating I made the video. Yes, I made a pitch deck essentially, and what the goal of this would be, and this is something I will add to the course as I add on, is to create a pitch deck so that you can send it to, okay, I'm using a Logitech mouse. I'm going to pass this on to whoever the branding guy or partnerships guy is at Logitech, and I'm going to be like, hey, I stream 3 days a week. I average this viewership. I play this game. This is my niche. Hey, do you have an affiliate program that I can become part of? And then, okay, now in my chat, every time I get a headshot in Valorant, I'm going to be like, oh man, this Corsair mouse, dude, wouldn't have done it without it. Hey, check it out. And, someone hit ! Corsair in the chat and it's going to pop up a link. And when they buy something through that, you get kickback, right? So I love, affiliate things, stuff like that. That's a really good way, and a way that is actually helpful. Please don't be that streamer that just advertises everything. Only advertise things you actually like and use. Just because a razor company says they're going to pay you so much, I mean, if you don't use the razor, or if it's absolute junk, don't sell it to your people. And so like if that's your goal to make an income, build up viewership and reach out for affiliate programs. I mean, build up your subscriber base too. And when I first started streaming, I remember I did a few 24-hour streams, and like I'd have like some sort of big goal. Hey, if we hit 100 subscribers in this stream, I'll eat a habanero pepper at the end. I did that 3 times. I don't do that anymore because it was miserable. But the clips are still out there if anyone wants to see. They're on the channel. But yeah, doing fun stuff like that, and then it's a great time. It's like, hey guys, if we hit 50 subscribers this month, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream, or you're going to do a subathon, which is every time someone subs. Which again, you get $2.50 every time someone subs. It adds 30 minutes to your clock. You can't stop streaming until your clock ends. Just different things like that. And all that's very common on Twitch. I imagine if someone's been on Twitch for a while, they kind of know about some of these things, but those are fun. Your audience knows this. You'll start getting rated and stuff, which is a really cool thing with Twitch is when you end a stream, rather than just ending, you can actually send all your viewers to another channel. And so you kind of make some friends in the content space. And whenever they know you're doing one of these crazy streams, they'll send them your way. And then it just kind of builds hype around it. So yeah, all that. There's a lot that goes into it. And maybe at some point I'll record a Twitch general knowledge type guide like that for the course as well, because it sounds like something that would be good. That it kind of comes in knowledge I forget.
Depending on how this course performs, we could think about what's next as well, like more like a course leaning into the strategy of streaming and the content that you create on the side. So that idea that you mentioned, and get into, so you'd have the design part, and then on the other side you'd have the strategy part.
Oh, that's a good idea.
One
I like
thing
that.
we didn't mention is that we share every single template of the things you create in that course.
That's right.
There are about 10 additional resources. So they are all Canva templates, editable templates that you can just copy, or you don't even need to copy. You just click the link, it will create a copy, and you can use the things that Jeff has created and teaches you how to create in the course. So you don't start from a blank page. You have that Canva template, and you share templates about everything we create. So we have the emotes, we have the alerts, we have the entire brand board, which is really cool. We have the logo, and all of this is also linked to the course. So that's something I think worth mentioning in this,
absolutely,
in this launch event. All right. How about we bring back this banner with the QR code for the people who are still not in the course? Guys, we are wrapping up. So any final question, now is the time.
Yeah.
for us for the course. Anything really you're haven't yet asked us, this is the time. Otherwise, highly recommend you check out the course. It's right there. You can scan the QR code. You should get it for less than $10, which is highly worth it, in my opinion. I'm a bit
Oh, I
biased,
agree.
but
Yeah.
hey.
I'm a bit biased too, but I think you're
Yeah,
right.
but hey,
Yeah.
come on. No, it's a fun course to follow, and if you don't have the $10, it's okay. You can still find some great value on Jeff's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Plenty of tutorials there, and yeah, we also have our channel, Design with Canva. Those of you who don't know us, we teach about Canva with Diana, who is watching us right here and kind of being our number one fan in the chat. Uh, yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. Jeff, you want to give the final words?
Yeah. I would say, like kind of like you were saying, if you're just getting started with Canva, absolutely recommend checking out, obviously, your guys' channel, the Design with Canva channel. So anyone on my side that's not already following them, go check them out. I actually love to go and steal ideas from their channel. I mean, borrow, I love to come over and watch some of the, because you guys do incredible stuff. And I'll come over and I'm like, man, how can I do that how could that be done for like a stream? And then I'll kind of use some of those ideas you guys come up with. So I absolutely recommend checking out your channel, anyone on my side. But yeah, and anyone who hasn't followed or subscribed to my YouTube channel, my content, kind of like we talked about, it is directed to streamers and things of that sort, but there's also like learning tools. You'll figure out new things just from watching too, I think. And I highly recommend the course. This is something that I wish I would have had access to. Because I remember when I first started streaming, I did look around on several of the course platforms and trying to figure out if there was a good way to get started. Of course, at that time, I was trying to design my stream to match everyone else's as well, because I thought that's how you were supposed to stream. But there wasn't anything. And so I think this is a really cool opportunity, a good launching point, a good kickstart in the streaming space. So I can't wait to get the
Definitely.
feedback and see what people think about it.
All right. Word. We've said everything. I think we did a good job.
Yeah.
The course will be forever now, from today
Yeah.
on Udemy. So you can find it there. It's called Canva for live streaming. Our goal is to get to the first search result page
Yeah.
as soon as we can, so people can find the course. So yeah, don't hesitate, get in there, consume the course, leave us a review after consuming the course. This always helps new courses for sure to rank a bit higher in the search results. And yeah, keep following us, keep learning new stuff, keep doing the things that you love. I think live streaming is something I want to get more into, definitely. I will go back to the course, apply what you teach there, especially the stuff about the stream elements that really tickled some of my curiosity there. I need to get back into that. All right. Thank you, Jeff, for your time. Thank you for reaching out to me with this idea and this really quality course. And yeah, I'm going to go to sleep, and you are going to go on about your day in the US, me in Barcelona. Thank you guys for watching, for being with us. I enjoyed this. We had like a constant 30 people watching. That's very good.
Awesome.
I'm very happy about this.
In the live stream world, that's very good.
Yeah.
So
see,
yeah,
I should be an affiliate of Twitch now.
yeah, absolutely. You can make it easy.
All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.